In this video today, I'm going to be going over how to find leads, prospects for your digital business using Clutch. Clutch is basically the Fiverr, but for businesses, right? So we have a few different categories that we can even choose from. And so every single one of these categories has subcategories. For every one of these subcategories, there's thousands and tens of thousands of different companies that have their listings on Clutch. This allows us to scrape, enrich, and build our ideal target audience and build our prospecting list and so on and so forth. So here in the next few clips, I'll show you exactly how I do this for my own agency and how you can do it as well. There's a few things that we're going to need. We're obviously going to need a category that you want to scrape. Let's assume for this exercise, you want to scrape mobile app development companies. So we're just going to use this subcategory. We're going to need a Clay account, which is just clay.com. And I'll leave a link in the description below so you can sign up for Clay. And then a Google Sheet, a regular normal Google Sheet. And we're going to need 2 Chrome extensions. We're going to need the Instant Data Scraper Chrome extension, which I'll leave a link below, as well as the Clay Chrome extension. I'll also leave a link below there as well. So let's get started. So if you're not new to sales or sales prospecting or business development, you're probably used to simply looking for a list in Apollo or LinkedIn Sales Navigator or any of these data enrichment platforms, right? So what this is doing is we're working essentially backwards to find our new list that we can create. And the whole point of this is to stand out from the rest of the other salespeople that we're competing against. So essentially what we have here is the company name, we have the website, we have descriptions, etc. right? So we have to kind of think backwards of how we can go from essentially only having the company name and a few different elements to getting and finding a specific decision maker that you can find and send them an email to potentially pitch your business to them. That's the whole goal. There's a few ways to go about this, right? We have the Instant Data Scraper, as I mentioned, and we have obviously Clay's own Chrome extension that they offer. My go-to favorite is, I'll be honest, it's the Instant Data Scraper. So when you simply click this, it gives us access to the directory link, the company name, description, the rating, every single element that you can think of that is available to scrape is on this page. Another big reason of why I like this tool so much is because it automatically moves through the different pages. Okay, so let's go ahead and try this to automatically scrape through different pages. So let's do boom, and then let's just set it to 5 seconds. This should automatically scrape through the pages. There you go. See, now we have rows collected 100. So we have 100 different companies that we're able to enrich and potentially find decision makers from. So as soon as this hits 200, I'll stop it and then we can copy paste. We're going to copy all, we're going to paste this into our Google Sheet, and then we're going to paste this here. So we have company name. The only ones we really want is just the title of the companies. That's all we need. So let's just do here. And we can delete all of this, and we're gonna need the website, which is given to us right here. So boom, and then this is literally all we need. So we can rename this for the sake of organization purposes. So we can do company name, and then we could do domain URL. So we're gonna title this mobile. Let's do this Clutch mobile. Sorry for the bad spelling. App development. Cool. So now we have our baseline Google Sheet, right? So we're going to download this as a CSV. So we now have that data, and we're going to upload this CSV into Clay. So import CSV, click continue, boom, boom, and now it's uploading into Clay. New table, complete import, and now we have a working workspace that we can use. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to do a Google search query, which allows us to directly link the LinkedIn URL. So we need to clean this URL to only show making.io. That's it. We cannot show the UTM tags. We cannot show any of these other UTM tags that is included in the URL because we did scrape directly from Clutch. So we have to get rid of this. And so I actually already have a formula that I'll go over with you guys in 1 second when I add it. So let's do here, and then we're gonna use AI. We're gonna just copy paste this. This is the column that I'm pasting from the other workspace, but we're simply gonna put domain URL and this should work. So what we're doing here is we're checking every single row that falls on the domain URL if it contains .io, if it contains any of these top level domains. I forgot this portion. There you go. Boom. Now this should work. There you go. So now let's go to see what we can edit. So the ones you see that still have the UTM tags appended, it's because we don't have that specific domain. So what we can do is we could do, so .1, that's one of them. So we can go here, use AI, and we could do, after .international, we could do or .1. That should work, and that should clean it up. Boom. And this should go away. Same, there you go. Same thing with .digital. I don't think we have a .digital in there. So what we need to do is we need a or .1 or .digital, and then this should clean it up as well. And boom, cleaned. And so now our entire list seems to be completely cleaned up with exactly the domain URL that we need to enrich. So now what we want to do is we want to do a Google search query for a specific company LinkedIn page that is linked to this company name with this URL. And so we do this by going to enrich data, search query, a Google search query, and I'm just going to copy paste this. You can copy paste this the same way as I did. So it's going to do site linkedin.com/company. The /company is very important because we only want to result company LinkedIn pages. So this is just, again, from another workspace that I copy pasted, but in your scenario, we would do /company URL. So this is, in this case, it's called new column. We want the one we just cleaned up. So here you can ignore all of this. Good to go. Yeah, that should be good. Let's continue to add fields. You can, I always leave this empty. It's just my preference. So you can just simply click save and do not run. We should have a few different LinkedIn pages that come up, and I'll show you exactly how to map them over into the new column. So here, it's usually going to be the first result in Google. So because we're mapping directly, we're looking directly for one specific query, it's usually going to be the first result. So in this case, the first result, it's 0. So what we want to do is simply go hover over link at the column, just create a new column. And so now we have the specific LinkedIn URL for this company page done in a separate column that we now can utilize as a variable. So let's go ahead and run the entire column and do run all rows that haven't run or have errors, so that way we don't waste credits here again. So I'm just going to pause this, let it load, and then I'll come back to you guys right when it's done. So perfect. We have the LinkedIn URL of different companies' pages, so which is perfect, which is exactly what we need to enrich. So now that we have the company LinkedIn URL, we're going to use a find people enrichment. So because we're going to be looking directly for either the CEO, the founder, any high-level decision maker that you specifically want to go after. But in this scenario, we're only going to be after CEO. So we'll do find people. And for this enrichment, we specifically need the company identifier, which is the link column that we created. So we're just going to go here, job title, and we're going to put CEO, just one. In this case, just one. You can obviously add a few. But yeah, so here is where we want to grab the full name. We want to grab the organization, sure. We want to grab the headline, sure. We don't really need much of that. Literally the only thing we need is for full name. That's it. So click save and do not run. So now when we go find people, it's going to be looking directly in LinkedIn for the specific CEO of that company. So this it didn't find, return one profile. And let's just run it, all of them for this case. So force run all 200 rows, and I'll come back when this is done for you guys. So obviously, as you can see, it didn't bring back that many profiles, but we're just going to work with what we resulted in. Obviously, this might take a little bit more tinkering. Maybe we can do founder, maybe we can do chief executive officer. I'm just curious to see what that would result in. Okay, so it looks like we didn't get that many more, but let's just work what we have for this scenario. So now that we have full name, the organization, and their headline, we can now actually find this person's email address. And we're going to do that exactly like this. We're going to go to enrich data, and we're going to go to specific attributes. So we want specifically their work email. Boom. So we want to first try Clay's own in-house email address finder. Then we'll do data. Then we'll do Hunter, Snow. I usually don't do this one. I usually don't do this. I usually just do these three. So here's where we want to input the column we want to enrich. So we want to do full name. We have access to full name right here. Company name. The company name is organization. Company domain is where we scrape the original, which is under link column. So we can do that one here. And then we could do save and do not run. So now we can do boom, boom. And it's not even going to run for the ones that don't even have the full name, right? So it has to have the full name. Let's just do a few. See, and now it's finding these people's valid email address. So now we went from not having any personal contact information about a decision maker from Clutch. We now have the CEO's valid email address, and now we can reach out and send them an email via a campaign or whatever the case may be, right? But now we've gone from having nothing to having an actual contact information to go after. Again, I hope this video was super helpful. It's super helpful for me and my agency. Be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know what you think, what you're going to use this for. If you have any suggestions that I can do on my end, I'd love to collaborate and hear your guys' thoughts and ideas. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. Cheers.